Good morning, and welcome back to the behind-the-scenes-ish stuff over here on the second channel, and of course on Rumble. Thank you for joining us on Rumble, where things feel a little bit safer than, well, having 65 videos randomly deleted by YouTube. Anyways, it is the 11th of January, about 10 a.m., and I'm out for a quicker range session. Got the new EAA Gearsan Witness 2311 match to review. This is a 5-incher with a full-length dust cover, all steel, bull barrel, and a tuned trigger, they say. It feels nicer than the original, but still not absurd. The action is definitely smoother than the old 2311 compact that reviewed quite a while back. Remember when these came out, it was groundbreaking because this was the first double stack 1911 that was under $1,000. And while the action was a little bit rough, and I think many other people were willing to tolerate that for the cost savings. What's their 5-inch match version like with the extra nose weight? Probably going to be more fun to shoot, but we'll test that. The other thing, the other bit I'm looking to try out is the long requested, how does a Beretta PX4 compare to Grand Power? Why am I holding 2 Grand Powers? Well, that's because the older models of Grand Powers, this is a Mark 12, and that's of course not the earliest, but the original Grand Powers came out about the same time as the PX4. I had a commenter say, oh, the PX4's got 2 decades on Grand Power. Maybe 2 decades on him knowing about Grand Power, but these came out about the same time with a very different rotating barrel action than the PX4. The Mark 23s, which we've seen, have moved to something more similar to the PX4. I have not shot a Mark 12 versus Mark 23 side by side in quite some time to know if I can really discern a difference between them. But long story short, why did they move to something close to the PX4? Well, because it's simpler to manufacture. The old Mark 12 version was quite tight tolerances, heavy strain or wear, if you will, on machine time. It took a long time to make those. The new Mark 23s take less machine time to make, which allows them to make more of them, which of course allows the company to grow. That's probably also why a giant company like Beretta, with all of its distribution, started with a simpler to make version of the rotating barrel. But I want to shoot all 3 of these side by side and see if I can discern any type of difference in feels. As far as performance, we know Grand Powers are excellent guns. We know the PX4 is an excellent gun. I'm not going to say that one is better than another, but if I can feel a difference, or if we can maybe notice a difference in double taps on paper, something like that, maybe that'll help us. I don't know. Part of why I resisted doing this, and I've told many of those that request it, is I have 9 years, several hundred, if not thousand, not several thousand, if not several hundred, maybe 1,000 hours of Grand Power time, including high-intensity courses around the nation. I've spent a lot of time shooting these, so they are very second nature to me. Whereas the PX4, I just shot last month. So we might see a performance difference there on paper or with my shooting, simply because I know this gun better than I know the PX4. But I'll give it a try, and if it's decent enough or there's good enough discoveries, you guys will get a video. It tried to sprinkle on me. Oregon weather, of course, saying there's not going to be any rain today. That's why I'm here. So I set up what's for dinner, got all the boxes out there, got the paper on the target, and then it started raining because that's Oregon. I'm going to try to knock these videos out before the rain resumes, and I'll give you guys feedback on the end side. Thanks for watching. I was packing up and nearly forgot once again to give you guys the aftermath of today's session. The Witness match, or Witness 2311 match, did pretty well. I think it's going to find a nice spot in the market. Just service level, it's not replacing like a Bull Armory, but it's pretty darn nice and pretty darn affordable. And so I think it's probably going to be a great way for folks to get into that double stack 1911, especially if you want to compete locally. I know it's easy for us to think about competitions as the fancy stuff you see on TV or on YouTube, but keep in mind that if you're seeing it on TV or YouTube, those are your high-end guys with lots of experience and probably some sponsorships, free guns, free ammo, that kind of thing, getting thrown at them. show up at your local match. I bet you won't see that level of stuff unless there's somebody who's spending his retirement funding or kids' education fund on a Staccato for some reason. I bet you see more realistic guns. The comparison between the PX4 and the Grand Power was a tough one to do. Again, I've got a huge experiential bias on the Grand Power. I think there's also a little bit of an ergonomic match. I mean, heck, at this point, after so many years of shooting those things, maybe it's more my hand forming to the gun than the gun forming to my hand. But I did my best to make it fair. That video is probably going to run here on the second channel. I don't feel there's anything too decisive enough about it, but it's because I was trying to be fair. Sometimes I hate myself for that. Wish I could just be the influencer type and push what I want to push so that you guys buy things and I make a buck. But sorry, that's not the way I do it. I am a journalist, and that meant taking a lot of things into consideration. It's a close match between the Grand Power and Beretta. Let's put it that way. Thanks for watching. I'll get working on those videos. Patrons, you guys know what's coming to you soon. Everyone else, expect the Girsan review probably maybe early February. I might be able to get it done early. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you to our patrons.